Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1999 BMW 528i. Yes, the E39 finally comes to the Hot Lap Classic, and if I'm being honest, if there is any car to benefit from the GT2 Plus mod, this might be one of the cars that has benefited the greatest in this series. So, a couple of changes from the standard game. They corrected the engine power. For some reason in the base game, they made the 528i make 142 horsepower. Which isn't correct. It's supposed to make 190 like the 328i and the 328ci. So that got corrected. It now makes the correct 190 horsepower. On top of that, the NA tuning got corrected to match the 328i because it's the same engine. And they added the turbo kits from the 328i. All of this results in the 528i going from probably in this series making only about 260 horsepower to 480, which is more than the M5 of the time, and hopefully that should put it into contention with quite a sort of interesting rivalry that's popped up. The mid-sized saloon car, or sort of large executive saloon, medium executive saloon, if you will, has turned out to be quite a heated category, and these cars are quite quick, so we'll see if the 528i can go up there. BMWs haven't been the quickest around this course. The quickest BMW is still the E36 323i Coupe, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this car can get up there. Front engined, rear wheel drive, 480 horsepower, 1,401 kilos, a lot of torque. And, well, it's the E39, so it looks absolutely exquisite, so I'm hoping this car will turn out to be quite quick. This E39 is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Mitsubishi GTO LM Edition, which set a time of a 27.017. The BMW 528i obviously not likely to beat that. In case you're curious about its BMW brethren, the 323i, which had the turbo upgrades as well, that car set a... Or did it have natural aspiration? I think it had... I don't actually remember. Oh god. Yeah, that car set a time of like a 30.939, I think. So not quite where we want to be. The E36 at a time of a 30.6. And the sort of slowest of these sort of large executive saloons, medium, I have no idea what. It's not quite 740i sized, but like, yeah. The E55 AMG set a time of a 30.499. So if it could get somewhere in there, I don't think we're going to be quite matching something like the Lexus GS400, but, you know, who knows. Yeah, I'm hoping this does well. I guess out of all of the BMWs in this game, might be my favourite. As much as I do love a BMW 3 Series Compact, the 3 Series Compact in this game is not the ridiculous bug-eyed thing, which is my favourite of all of them, because it's very weird looking. I was obsessed with it as a kid, and, you know, several years later I'm still obsessed with that car because of just how strange and odd it looks. It's my favourite E46, but yeah, the 528, obviously the E39, this car has a presence, doesn't it? Maybe not quite the same as something like the big 7 Series. You could argue all day over which one looks better between this and the 7 Series, but I think for me the 5 Series of this generation is awesome. I am not the biggest BMW fan, but I did seriously consider getting. And so when I ended up with my Accord in the end, I had a couple of cars that were shortlisted, and one of them was an E39, because they are just awesome looking and very well built and proper BMWs. 30.351, there you go. It did not feel like it had that lap time in it, I will be honest. And then just on that final lap there, it's absolutely blitzed it. Wow. That is impressive. Fortunately, that's not a tie as well. I thought it was going to be a tie with something else. But, yeah, I don't know where Maybe cutting that corner is slowing stuff down, I'm not too sure. To be fair, that does look like a pretty bob-on lap, if I'm being honest. Gotta reverse over the line because I can't drive in a straight line because I'm so amazed by my driving skills on the previous lap. There you go, the quickest BMW is what would have in all likelihood been the slowest BMW in the base game, but thanks to the GT2 Plus mod, we can give the E39 something to sing about. Incredible stuff. Yeah, that was a pretty bang on lap time. I'm impressed with myself in that one. Yeah, didn't even check how many speeds this had. I'm assuming it's a 5-speed because BMWs, they actually had pretty decent gearboxes from this time. Anyways, a 30.351 will place this into 146. It is fractionally quicker than the FTO GPX and the Audi A3. It loses out slightly to the Fiat Punto, but ignore that part. The key things to note is it is 0.1 down on the Lexus GS400, but it beats the 91 Toyota Aristo by about 600th of a second, and it does beat that big E55. It's about 0.3 up the road from the E36 and 0.6 up the road from the 328i. I think in terms of BMW supremacy, the only thing that's really going to be beating this is the 328ci when that takes on the course, but and because that has racing modification, it will have roughly the same amount of power as this does. But yeah, that's a phenomenal time from the 528i. Again, a car that honestly in the base game I wouldn't even bother with. It's one of those like the Dodge Stratus as well that has a similar sort of horsepower problem in the base game. From that to being the quickest BMW, that is the power of GT2 Plus, the way the game is actually supposed to be. Anyways, that is it for this episode of the Hot Lap Classic. I do hope you've enjoyed. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.